Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Jeff, and today we are going to have some fun playing Magic. And the fun thing that we are trying to do today is we are playing a red blue Wizards deck that I'm calling Cinder Wizards because of Adeliz, the Cinder Wind. So, Adeliz is kind of the main thing that really helped out this deck. It used to be more of, like the red blue prowess deck is kind of what I'm building this off of, but we're adding in a lot more wizards into here because Adeliz is so powerful and gives prowess to every one of our wizards. So basically, Adeliz says it has flying and haste. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, wizards you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. So it's not quite prowess because it has to be an instant or sorcery. It can't just be a non-creature spell like prowess offers. Um, but we do have our prowess triggers. We have a couple of Spellweaver Eternals. We have Soul-Scar Mage. The only thing we're not really running is like the Riddle Forms and Enigma Drakes in here because we want to run so many more of these fantastic wizards that we have. So Viashino Pyromancer is really good in here, as well as Siren Stormtamer, the Ghitu Lavarunner, really help us out so much in this deck. And so we're playing 20, I think it's 20 creatures and 19 non-creature spells and 21 lands. So the non-creature spells that we were running, we were playing a little bit more aggressively. A lot of people kind of run negates, Wizard's Retort, that kind of stuff in here. For me, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to protect our stuff a little bit. So we're giving it dive down, but really we're just trying to go as aggressive as possible. And we're just, burning out our opponents with Wizard's Lightning Strikes to the face, and then also kind of finishing out the game with Invigorated Rampage. Invigorated Rampage is so powerful with the Wizards, especially if we have an Adeliz out. Soul-Scar Mage, Spellweaver Eternal, because we can get so much damage in so quick. So I really, really love this card. It's super powerful. Ops as well, just to make sure that we're getting more triggers as we're going. We're bringing in divinations up on the top end to try to make sure that we're drawing in once we're a little bit later in the game, because we rely so much on getting Adeliz out that it's a great turn for play if we've already played like all of our hand. So anyway, that's what we're trying to do here with this deck. Let's see if we can win some games. Let's go ahead and get into gameplay. Here we go. Alright, so we get to take a look at our hand, and this actually looks pretty good. Unfortunately, it's a slow land, but we will keep this. Um, both colors is great. We only really want to get to 3 mana ever. Like 4 mana is okay. That's why I'm playing 21 lands instead of just 20. But yeah, so there's three mana. Perfect. So Highland Lake, go. We pass the turn. And so next turn we play Siren Stormtamer and the Ghitu Lavarunner, and then we can start firing off spells. We kind of want to save spells to run into Adeliz. We may even want to opt to try to run into Adeliz, so we will see here. Spirebluff Canal is fantastic as well, so we play Spirebluff Canal, we play Siren Stormtamer, and we're going to go ahead and play another Siren Stormtamer. Now that we have the extra blue mana, that'll definitely help us out here. And we pass the turn. We're holding back Ghitu Lavarunner because it does have haste if we do want to play it later on in the game, where these are just powerful having them out and about. Alright, so perfect. So we are going to play Mountain. We are going to play Wizard's Lightning on Resplendent Angel. Get that off the battlefield. Play Opt. So now we're going to have, Invigorated Rampage, I think we keep on top. It's just so much damage that goes to their face. So we're going to play Lavarunner, which now has haste and +1. We swing in for 4, bring him down to 16, and pass the turn. Now we really, really want to draw into our Adeliz here. That would be so powerful. Aerial Responder. Alright, so that is a good target for our Lightning Strike here. So we Lightning Strike, bring them out of the sky, and we are going to go to combat first here, attack, and we'll swing in for 4, bring them down to 12, and we'll go ahead and play the Pyromancer here. Luckily, they didn't draw into land there, so hopefully a Fumigate isn't anytime soon here. Possibly a Settle the Wreckage, which we will save up mana for a Siren Stormtamer for that. Alright, so Seal Away, going to be put on a Siren Stormtamer. And then another Seal Away for another Siren Stormtamer. That is actually just fine. We'd rather them be targeting them ultimately. So now we can do quite a bit of damage here. We almost bring them all the way down. So let's go to combat, attack. We're going to play Invigorated Rampage. Doesn't matter because they are tapped down. Damage. Bring him down to 2. And okay, I was thinking that we bring him down to 1. But yeah, so there we go. Lightning Strike in for the win. And wow, that worked really well even without the Adeliz. So you can see the power of Invigorated Rampage. I just love that card so much. It's 4 points of damage for 2 mana, which is better than Lightning Strike as long as your creature can get in. Which it also gives trample to the creature that has a high power level. So anyway, it's just super powerful as long as it actually goes off. Alright, so here we are in Arena Standard, and we are playing Cinder Wizards, red-blue Wizards, and this deck is super fun. You saw the power of it in the first game, and ooh, let's see here. Mountains, we have the Adeliz, we can draw into blue mana. We're going first. Oh man, I think having creatures down is so important. Like all of our wizards sorry, all of our instants and sorcery spells are supposed to be there to help our wizards. We're gonna keep this and play a little bit slower, so we're gonna use the lightning strikes as removal to let us draw into mana as quick as possible. We play mountain, pass the turn. Opponent plays a forest, passes the turn. Invigorated Rampage. We play mountain, pass the turn, and we are really hoping for blue mana next turn. We do have the lightning strikes to at least clear the board for a couple of turns while we're drawing into it. That was the main reason I kept, was because we have removal to let us draw a few more turns. Merfolk Branchwalker comes down. We will let that resolve. Alright, it just gets a forest, and so don't think that we actually kill it here. We want to save our spells for when we actually have prowess, so I'm going to be a little greedy and pass the turn, and mountain means that we'll probably fire off this lightning strike. Let's see if we can get a better target next turn. So pass the turn. Playing against Merfolk, so we want to hit Merfolk Mistbinders if we can. Or maybe double up on a Cumena. Trophy Mage. This is interesting, so we'll let that resolve. Let's see what they go grab. This is one reason to maybe bring in a couple of Abrades, but we are playing slow enough. Alright, so Gate to the Afterlife. Oh, interesting. Blue-green Godpharaoh's Gift. Opponent swings in with Merfolk Branchwalker. I'm not sure I want to be filling their graveyard here now. So we're just going to say block, take 2 for now, pass to my turn. Oh, there we go. Perfect. All right, so Island, Adeliz, swing in, bring him down to 18, pass the turn. All right, and so we just have to keep Adeliz alive. That is the only thing we've really got to do. All right, so Gate to the Afterlife comes down. So I'm actually hoping that because they're playing Gate to the Afterlife and stuff like that... Ooh, perfect. Island is absolutely wonderful here. So we play Siren Stormtamer. We go to combat. We attack. Swing in. And let's just... You know what? They only have 1 mana up, so now is a good time to use Invigorated Rampage. So we could also Lightning Strike, but then we lose out on the dive down in case they do have removal. And Siren Stormtamer. So we're going to play a little safer. So go to damage, bring him down to 11, and pass the turn. And I believe next turn we are pretty close to lethal. Champion of Wits comes down. They get to fill their graveyard. Let's see if they run into a Godpharaoh's Gift. Putting some dragons in there. All right, this is pretty fun. So this is a 5-color version, maybe? I don't know. This is interesting. Merfolk Branchwalker comes down. They get to put a Tishana into the graveyard. Goes to combat, attacks. Swings in for 4, no blockers. We go down to 10, and so they don't quite... So yeah, they have 9 points of damage next turn. So go to my turn. All right, Opt actually helps us out a lot there as well. So we go to combat, we attack. I could opt to see if I can run into a Lavarunner before, but oh well. All right, so 2 attackers. We opt. Put that to the bottom. See if we can draw into a 1 mana burn spell. Shock would be the best. We Lightning Strike opponent's face. And Lightning Strike, and we have lethal. There we go. That worked out really well. Perfect. All right, that. Luckily, we drew into exactly what we were needing there, and we played a little bit risky, but it definitely paid off with Adeliz there. All right, so here we are in Arena Standard, and we are playing Cinder Wizards with Adeliz at the lead, and definitely came through for us in the last game. And so this will probably be the last one that we play here. Hopefully we can go 3-0. If I keep doing well, I might go for a few more. Try to see if we can match up with the birds there. Yeah, this is good. Both colors is good. A lot of good spells, so we will keep this. And hopefully draw into land for Adeliz. Bowmat Courier, so playing aggro. They swing in, bring us down to 19. Alright, so we'll play Mountain past the turn. So we are just hoping that they don't go too crazy here on the early turns. Because we can race in, and as you saw in the last game, we can do a whole lot of damage in one turn. But the big issue is that they can sometimes have a removal spell to just kind of blow us out here. Ooh, 3 Bowmat Couriers. Really fast start here for our opponent. They get cards underneath them. They swing in, bring us down to 16. We play an island, and we will play Spellweaver Eternal. So we're going to go on the kind of the racing plan here. We know that they're going to swing in, and we're not necessarily going to block the Bowmat Couriers here, because we can do tons of damage next turn. We can do, actually, I think 12 damage with the Invigorated Rampages. Or we would need more mana. Alright, so opponent goes swinging in, gets a bunch of cards underneath the Bowmat Couriers. We say no blockers. Bring us down to 13. And they play Foundry Inspector. Alright, so this is a pretty interesting version. Alright, so I think what we do is we just play Soul-Scar Mage and Siren Stormtamer. And we'll say... And we're going to go ahead and attack in with a Spellweaver Eternal. I probably should have done that beforehand, but I'm fine with them losing out on the Foundry Inspector here. Yeah, so bring them down to 18, pass the turn. They can still swing in for a lot, but our Soul-Scar Mage can at least kill some of their stuff. Oh, Swamp. Alright, so I'm thinking this is just like a Constructs deck that had a really aggressive start here. Ooh, Sky Sovereign. Interesting. Oh man, this is a very aggressive start. So we can block, and they lose out on 4 cards here. So we say no blockers. I think if we don't... Okay, so we do draw land. Oh man. So next turn we can dive down and Lightning Strike something to stay alive. We could play Adeliz, but then they can just crew up and kill her next turn. I think we just have to pass the turn. And we can kill the Sky Sovereign, the flagship next turn. So we can dive down on the Siren Stormtamer or on the Spellweaver Eternal, whichever one they go after. Okay, Scrapheap Scoundrel comes down, and then we can Invigorated Rampage to kill it. So they crew. They play Scrap Trawler. Alright, so going to be getting back stuff. Opponent swings in with the crew. Targets the Siren Stormtamer, so we will play Dive Down on the Stormtamer. Create some prowess triggers here for the Spellweaver Eternal. Resolve. Let them draw all of their cards. We have to kill the Foundry Inspector, even though they're going to get back a Bowmat Courier with the Scrap Trawler here. So we go 2 blockers, and they don't wait for Damage Step to do that. So that's one thing. You do want to be waiting for Damage Step there. So real quick, while they're tapped down, let's go ahead and put Invigorated Rampage onto our Siren Stormtamer, kill this Sky Sovereign flagship. Unfortunately, both of our creatures die. So I still don't think there's any way out of this, especially because of the Scrap Trawler. Oh man, they have so many cards now. Yeah, I don't think there's any way out of this. They just had too aggressive of a start, and we didn't draw into what we were needing early enough. Bomat Courier, Spirebluff Canal, enters tapped, and yeah, we're already dead on board. So, I mean, we could Lightning Strike the Scrap Trawler, but then they have lethal. We can play Adeliz and block, but then they have lethal. So, we'll play Adeliz and say good game and pass the turn, or sorry, and concede here. So, unfortunately, opponent just started way too fast there, and we just didn't draw into our land that we needed quick enough. So let's go ahead and get into the wrap up here, and we can talk a little bit about the things that you may want to change up with the deck. All right, so there you guys have it with Cinder Wizards, and the deck is obviously very powerful. The big issue that we have is if they answer our Adeliz, or if they build a big enough board that we kind of have to be answering them, we're just not quite drawing enough cards. So there is something to be said about maybe drawing, playing some stuff to draw more cards. Maybe add some divinations. Playing 21 lands, we didn't quite hit our third land every time, or weren't hitting the exact colors we were wanting. So I don't know. It's an interesting deck. At the same time, you don't want to be overdrawing into lands. We are an aggressive deck. We're trying to empty our hand so that we can just do tons of damage. So, I mean, the best turns is probably, Siren Stormtamer, 2 Soul-Scar Mages on turn 2, into an Adeliz on turn 3, and then you just swing in for lethal on the next turn. Like that is probably the best thing you can possibly do. So anyway, a really fun deck if you can do it, but doesn't always work out. And anyway, glad you guys were here to see the deck, and we will see you guys in the next video. Thanks so much.